We are live.
We are live. We are live and fired up, B-dubs.
Alive.
We've had this one lined up and on my mind and my heart to have for probably 2 months. But Jordan, being the leader that he has always been to this organization, has been flexible with us. He had the team dialed in, ready to go. Brandon and Casey showed up and wrecked our entire schedule. And Jordan was so kind to pivot and bring to us the message we're going to receive today. And I'm fired up for it. For those of you that don't know Jordan Hunt, you're missing one of God's greatest creations. He is a human that cares deeply about his people. He firmly believes in who he is as a person in faith and family. And he is, to his core, all about his zip code. I don't know if this is accurate or this is even a good metaphor, B-dubs, but if you've ever seen Ben Affleck in the movie The Town, I feel like that's the R-rated version of Jordan Hunt's life. Jordan Hunt walked down the hall and said, I need to know if you're in. We got to go somewhere. We're taking your car and we're going to hurt some people. Gino Locklear is going to already be sitting in the passenger seat with the seatbelt on, ready to roll. The way the man leads his agency, the way he leads the people that surround him, and the way he impacts others is phenomenal. So, B-dubs, anything you want to add before we pass it to Jordan?
No, other than he's going to, borrow one of my great exercises. Don't be stealing that thunder, but no, other than he's not going to. You said it all. I mean, top-notch momentum riding, momentum creator, and love seeing the impact and influence that he's had, and all this whole crew. I mean, this is worth the 2-month wait. So well done. Let's do it.
Do it, man. Todd, man, thanks so much. One of these days, I will live up to those. I will live up to one of your introductions, man. My name is Jordan Hunt, and I am direct to the one and only Brian Delaney. Just so grateful for what he saw in me 5 years ago. Gino, doesn't seem that long ago, man, but been, 5 quick years, man. Just really, really grateful for him. Grateful for this company. Brandon, Casey, Brian, everyone, just can't say that enough. But guys, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as I can, because my desire today is not to be in the spotlight, but to be a spotlight for 3 incredible guys that I get to lock arms with, right? We say it all the time that we don't want to be in business with people who want what we have, but we want to be in business with people who believe what we believe in. And these 3 guys exemplify that so well. It's just an absolute honor. So first off, we're going to have 2 agency owners on. We're also going to have a newly minted regional agency director. I don't want to name drop just yet. We will be bringing them up one at a time. But right now, first and foremost, I want to bring up this guy. He's an agency owner. Listen to these numbers and these metrics, right? 4 consecutive record-breaking months. Not what have you done for me, 2, 3, 4 years ago, but you're going to get the opportunity to hear from someone who is winning right now in this moment. Quarter 1 of 2022, team volume of $242,000. Quarter 1 of 2023, so flash forward 1 year later, now quarter 1, they did over 415,000. Well, you're talking about nearly 100% growth year over year. 11 direct SNAs for himself in the last 3 months, which is just incredible. And the list could go on and on and on, right? But I want to go ahead and bring this guy up, Mr. Agency Owner Gino Locklear. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Appreciate that. Love it. And as always, grateful to be here. Gino Locklear, director Jordan Hunt, and appreciate the invitation on this call, guys. We are super excited about it, but appreciate that, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Gino, More important than having big goals in this business is having really, really clear ones. And I think that that's something that you have done an absolutely incredible job with, especially over these last 4, 5 to 6 months. So I just want to kick it to you, man, to talk about some of the things that you're doing. How are you generating all these new SNAs, right? I know you're really good at connecting newer people together in small groups and running smaller contests. So guys, get your pen and papers ready and take as many notes as you can, but go ahead and run away with that, G.
Yeah, thanks about that. And Jordan, and to be honest with you, all of this stemmed from a conversation that I had with Delaney back in December of this past year. We finished up a meeting here, one of our boot camps, and we were sitting down at dinner, and Jordan, I just asked him, I was like, I'm kind of in a weird space. Like, life is good, but my business isn't growing, And I was like, what is there something like you could help me out here, Brian? And he pulled out his phone, Jordan, and he pulled up his op, and he looked over Jimmy Spieldinger's business. And one thing that I noticed when he was going throughout the different years of Jimmy's business is Brian said something. He said, there's power in the yellow. And immediately I knew exactly what he was talking about. He was talking about new riders. There's power in the yellow. And when you looked at Jimmy's business over those 3 years that he was pointing out to me, I would say anywhere between 80 to 90% of that was from the yellow, was from new riders. And I don't know, it was just like a flip switched in my head. I was like, okay, I get it. I know the mission. This is where we're going. And, had a conversation with some guys in my organization, specifically. He's a key leader, top producer within my organization, Mitchell Carter. And he said, gee, we're doing good as an organization, but we're never going to be great if we don't have a strategy. And I was like, okay. It was a little tough pill to swallow being the agency owner. And he said, we just shoot off the hip. We don't really know what we're doing. Going from A to Z is kind of a guessing game. And so we pulled together a leadership team within our organization, Jordan, and we literally built a strategy that we believe that can help new agents come in here and be successful, but stay successful, from not having a license to getting their first promotion. And, so our prime focus when we're hiring a brand new agent, whether they're licensed or whether they're unlicensed, that conversation that we're having when they're actually starting with Symmetry is, listen, the best people that we have that especially been coming through the pipeline the past few months, they're typically coming in the door with 6 applications, Jordan. Like, they're coming in the door with 6 applications, and they're doing that from social media, their friends and family, they're getting referrals from their community, or they're writing a policy on themselves. Because this is going to be, and this is the conversation we're having with them, this is going to be a learning curve. And I'm asking them this question: do you feel going through this learning curve is going to be easier, not having to worry about money or having to worry about money? Because I would much rather you operate out of a place of abundance rather than a place of desperation. And so we're already talking to them about coming in the door with 6 applications, Jordan, because we know the importance of 6 applications. The company built an incentive around it. So they're coming in the door and hitting seasoned new agent within their first week and a half, 2 weeks max. We literally just broke out another one yesterday. So that makes it 12. So they're coming in the door with 6 applications. And what we know is in their first 30 days, Jordan, we're not talking about anything at all, rather than just seasoned new agent and their SMORE bonus. And so we're telling that the average size policy that they're writing should be around $1,000. So if you're coming in the door doing 6 applications, that's going to put you close to $10,000 in premium. And that's going to get you a $2,000 bonus your first month. And so we're educating them on that, and we're putting that in front of them. And then we started putting together groups. I don't know where this came from. It just kind of started happening where we started to put people in groups, whether it was a small pocket of agents, new agents that came in. If somebody's building an organization, we put them in their own individual groups, and we started putting out contests. And I quit incentivizing individuals, and I started incentivizing groups. So like, for example, when we were going for Maui, I put an incentive out there. Hey guys, we go out and have 12 riders this week with $30,000 of submit business. That you guys are going to get a bonus. And what happened? I was gone, absent from my business. They did $45,000 that week with 14 riders. And so we're just incentivizing these groups with bonuses, not individuals, groups. And because what I love is, how small can we go with the goals, right? Don't have to be these astronomical goals, but how small can we go with the goals? Hey, get your first application, get seasoned new agent, hit your 10K for 2K. Do you know your SMORE bonus? 10K for 2K, 15K for 4,500, 22.5 for a $10,000 bonus. You know, because you get bigger by going smaller. So that's why I decided to just dive into these groups. You know, we had 4 new agents come into our organization last week. They get put into a small group, and one of those 4 agents have already eclipsed $15,000 in sales. And today is what, the 10th, right? And so it's just, and shout out to John Hunt for doing that. Congratulations, man. Love what you're doing. But you know, that's what we're doing, Jordan, is I found out that the best investment in my organization is in the new people. That's the best investment in my organization, in my business, is my career, is how fast can we focus on putting a priority around bringing in new agents, because that's the lifeblood of our business. You have to have new agents, have to have people that come in here, because in order to create new leaders, you have to have new agents. And so that's pretty much what we're focusing on, Jordan, is, you know, 6 apps, SMORE bonus, S&A, getting them into a group and having a strategy that can help them go from a brand new agent who has no idea what they're doing to someone who is completely confident and competent in their ability to go out and put in the work and get results.
Yeah, man, I love that. And just the color between the lines a little bit, whenever Gina was talking about how he's incentivizing groups, right? Sometimes it may be his entire organization, but sometimes it may be, I mean, I've seen you'll put out maybe in a group text, Gino, with 3 to 4 agents that may be in their first week in the field, or it may be 3 or 4 agents that are in there still inside of their first 60 or 90 days. And it may be, hey guys, if this group does 15,000 for the week and everybody writes an application, you know, either you guys are going to get whether that's lead credit or cash or any kind of other incentive. And I just think that that's a really great thing that you've done, that it's kind of like no one individual wants to let down the team, right? Maybe they aren't willing to push as hard for themselves as they are going to be willing to push as a piece for that larger team. And I just think there's a ton of gold in that. Appreciate you, man, and everything that you're bringing to the table, and can't wait to see what's next. So we're going to go ahead and turn the page over here now. And I'm going to kick this thing over to the newest guy. He's a newest regional agency director in the Hunt Master Agency. And he's actually going to be bringing on a good friend and buddy of his, who is not only the newest agency owner, but actually hit agency owner in 9 months. And not only did he hit it in 9 months, I mean, you're talking about someone that net placed over $65,000 as a team, right? Like to hit AO, it's 30 grand. This guy did 65,000 with his team, net place percentage over 83%. But this regional agency director that I want to bring up, you know, like I said, he hit agency owner in 13 months. And I always say this, it was like, man, I feel like it was a lot easier for me to find someone that was better than me. It's a lot easier for me to do that. And this guy kind of took him a little while longer to find someone better than him, because he's just that good. And you guys will see why. So I'm going to step out of the way and pass this thing over to Regional Agency Director Devin Johnson.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. Again, Devin Johnson, direct to Jordan Hunt. So grateful and honored to be able to be on the call. Grateful for Jordan, grateful for Brian Delaney, as always, Edward, Pritchett, and you know, the founders, Brandon, Brian, and Casey. So grateful to be here. And please, y'all, fire up the chat for how good Gino was. I mean, how good is that? That is just absolutely amazing that a guy is just getting the kind of results that he's getting, and as good as he is with people. So grateful to have sideline you know, agency owners in this business that I get to learn from myself. You know, that's always a good thing. But what I want to do is, like Jordan said, I don't want to be a spotlight today. I want to be more of a spotlight as well, because I found myself in a position finding somebody that is literally better than me in every possible way. And I really believe that he deserves a spotlight and an opportunity to share with you, because can anyone on this call you know, say like, hey, I want to be an agency owner in 9 months. Like that is something that I want. And what I want to do is hopefully communicate to all of you kind of how that has happened. So Tristan, I want to bring you up and ask you a couple of questions, and I want to go over a little bit of your stats here. So I have your biggest personal month in production was 39,000, which just so happened to be your very first month in insurance. Crazy. Your biggest agency month so far today, under a year, which was last month, your 9th month in the business, was 74,000, net placing 69K. Absolutely phenomenal. And also you've been here, for 10 months now. This makes 10 months. So I want to ask you a little bit about, because we're going to be talking to the builders on this call. What were some of the things, like what attracted you to SFG and made this something you wanted to be a part of and go all in on?
Yeah, I thank you, Devin, man, for having me on this call. I want to give gratitude first off, DJ. So grateful for the founders, Brian, Casey, Brandon, and even Meredith. Very, very grateful for Edward Pridgett, Brian Delaney, Jordan Hunt, and especially my upline, Devin Johnson. So grateful to be here, DJ. First off, man, I want to say the power of attraction for this business for me, DJ, was simply, man, it's funny, but you being consistent on social media, man. I feel like for forever, I watched you, man, while I was out there just grinding in the middle of the week, and my man is out there playing golf, on a Wednesday in the middle of the week, just enjoying yourself there. I would say more or less the lifestyle, DJ, is what attracted me to this business. It wasn't so much the leaderboards or anything that I'd seen. It was more so the lifestyle, your lifestyle, seeing Jordan on social media, seeing Gino on social media, just going and enjoying the things of what life has to offer. Yeah.
Yeah. And I should have prefaced that by saying Tristan's warm market. Tristan was a guy that me, Jordan, Gino, Aaron McLean, Mitchell Carter, the list goes on of the people in the Hunt organization that worked alongside with Tristan, in our previous career. And, so it was a little bit more of that social media, and tell the people a little bit more of kind of what that background was for you and why, the differences between that and this, and kind of some of the things that once you started seeing this, Tristan, like, what were some of those things that made you say, like, yeah, I've got to make a switch. I got to do this thing with these guys?
Yeah, man. Big thing for me, DJ, I would say is the biggest eye opener was we actually probably about 2 months to me coming in this business, me, you, Gino, Brantley. I was still, I'm not gonna say on the fence, but I was in pre-licensing, but I was like, I'm gonna get it going. I'm gonna get the ball moving. All right, we've all been there at some point, and we went and played a round of golf. I'll never forget this. I'm a prior business owner prior to this, and we played that round of golf. And I missed almost 3 holes of golf for answering a telephone, for running my businesses where I was supposed to be. Right, I was supposed to be that business owner, entrepreneur. I was living the life I thought, and I watched you guys go out and be able to enjoy your day, enjoy your time off, and here I was stuck running a business that was doing very well, but I was confined. I was locked down, as I may say. Chains were kind of on my wrist when I thought I was, doing great.
Yeah, and so, like, what we'll do is try to take the best advantage of our time here. So what I want to talk to you, so you're a former business owner. You know what it's like to be tied down. I mean, I see where you're currently at right now, which are the struggles of being a business owner. Your wife owns a daycare. You're having to kind of be there for her right now because it's short staff, and that's just part of the grind. But I want to talk to a little bit about your work ethic. So I want to give people some tangible advice on, like, as a newer agent, but also as a builder. Like, what were some of the expectations that myself or our leadership team as a whole set with you to kind of receive maximum results, basically?
Yeah, man, I tell you, I'm so grateful for the foundation that you guys built there out at Lumberton to really set the bar for over the last few years. And I'm glad there was such a space between that because you really didn't have to say much. You, as I like to say, you'd already put the proof in the pudding, right? Jordan had went out there and done it. You've done it. And I got to see it firsthand, right? You guys set the expectation of what the dials look like and what it was. And I knew from coming from a business owner mindset that, you know, if you want something great, it doesn't lie on the floor, right? It lies past the ceiling if you want something great. And I was willing to push harder and go further and do more, right? You come in and you said, Tristan, you need to do, you know, minimum of 300 intern dials. I was like, great, that's the minimum. Let's try to do 600 or 700. Right. If we need to, you know, if when it comes to recruiting, you said, Tristan, hey, look, the goal is to have 20-second interviews. Okay, great. I had other businesses at the time. I leveraged and leaned more towards warm market to be able to build that business, right? Because I was still in the field running my other businesses while I was doing this business for quite several months into this business. I was running that night and day, and then running this business as well. So I leveraged more of the warm market side of things.
When you talk about intern dials, what is that? And approximately how many appointments did you set during that time?
Yeah, real simple, man. I first week in the business, I believe it's kind of funny. Devin gave me a stack of leads, and I don't think he expected what I sat my butt in that seat. He said, dial. He said, I'll come back and check on you in a little bit. And, you know, a little bit turned into a few hours of about 20 appointments. And he didn't know what to do with his calendar. Matter of fact, he'd give me his calendar and didn't know what to expect there. But I knew I wasn't going to stop. We were going to get it at all costs. As Frank Haney likes to say, it takes what it takes. And I'm so glad that I was willing to just do endless amounts and hours of work to be able to get the results that I had got there in the first month. And a lot of that came from spiraling downhill there from you know, spending that month and a half prior to ever being licensed. And then before getting actually into this business, prepping up my first month of doing everything you said, being an example of the system, sound clouding. I mean, but going through that season of obsession in this business, and I'm glad I did.
And so what I want to speak to any builder on the call, what I feel like we're trying to communicate to you is like don't be afraid to set these kind of expectations, you know, with your people coming in the gate. Like I had no problem telling Tristan, like, look, these leads are leads that I've never got in touch with. Like they're probably going to be older. You're probably going to hear a lot of no's, but this is going to give you experience where you can hear no's on my money before you hear no's on your money. Which one do you prefer? And that's what we believe in, is like getting people moving in that area as fast as possible. So by the time that they do get their license, like this is after he's passed his state exam, where they already have some experience on the phone. And like what I've heard it said before, Tristan, is like a good opportunity is usually missed because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like hard work. And a lot of people don't ever take advantage of the opportunity that we have here because they don't want to do the hard work that is required, which I said was do work without any money to you. That's what I told you, but you've done it anyway. And you've been able to replicate that in your agency, which has helped you develop more and more writers as fast as possible. So look, the final thing that I want to touch on here with our time, and we'll make it as quick as we can here, is like talk to the people on what were some of the things that you specifically done to reach agency owner in 9 months. Like, what did you do on the recruiting side to get out there and get quality people so early?
Yeah, real simple, DJ. Honestly, following the system and listening to you guys, first off, I want to say this is that I knew for me that I had to come in here and put my head down. I was willing to tell someone else's story, but I wanted to build my own story. And that's why I come in and work so hard in my first month. I didn't expect to write in 39,000. But it's because I knew that at the end of the day, there's just a couple of things you don't get back. And I heard it said best here is that you don't get your first 90 days back, so let's make them count. And that's what I was willing to do. And I'll never forget, DJ, I posted, I think we'd had a conversation and you told me, you know, be very subtle in this business, be very subtle, but leave curiosity on the table. And after my 30 days there, I remember posting just a simple leaderboard of my first month. And it wasn't so much of the money, right? I didn't want that to be shared. I wanted the gratitude of the relationships and the mentorship and the business partnerships that I was able to lock arms with. from owning the business prior to this, man, I've never been a part of an organization where you truly get to lock arms with people that want your best. I mean, they want everything they can for you to pull you up to the next level. And that's what I want to project to people, which is what I got. I ended up getting a lot of warm market from that. That was just curious on how I was so grateful to lock arms with these people, which led me to my team that I have now, Cody Waters. I'm so grateful for you, brother, my entire team. So grateful for Ronnie West. Cody Waters is the prime example of that. His wife seen my more of the gratitude. And I lived beside Cody for years. He actually moved, and now his next door neighbors to Jordan Hunt. I mean, how crazy is that? He'd been next door neighbors to Jordan Hunt for a year and a half. And this man, his whole entire plant gets ships, making six figures. His entire plant gets ships to Mexico overnight. He had made this company millions of dollars. And here I thought the man was taken care of. And he finds this business, and he'll tell you every day of his life that he got 9 months back of his life, and his 4th month in his business wrote over 37,000. I would have never thought to reach out to him, but because I was willing enough to talk about the gratitude and what this business done and who I lock arms with, it intrigued him.
Yeah. Thank you, Tristan. I feel like we touched on what we touched on here, Jordan. We've got a few more minutes. I can pass it back to you. I will say I definitely have him prepped to talk about the warm market text if you wanted to touch on that.
Absolutely.
All right. So Tristan, I know we shared that kind of as a final thing. I know that part was a big stepping stone in your recruiting. So can you talk to the team, and we can get all these details. We'll get all that, to the whole company. But can you share on that text that was shared with you and kind of what you've done to help also get to your warm market?
Yeah, of course, man. I want to say I'm so grateful for being able to receive that text. I don't know who created it, but I'm here to tell, I hope you're on this call. Thank you so much for that warm market text, okay? It doesn't matter who created it. We passed it along. I want you to know that, okay? All right, but this is what I want to say. That warm market text, I'm so grateful for it. Real simple. If you don't have it, ask your mentor. I'm sure they do have it. But an essential, what it does is it sends out and it's touching a person. We truly want them, but it sounds like a referral basis that we're hiring. All right. We're looking for that person that has strong integrity, that is coachable, and you can make anywhere from $80,000 to $150,000 a year. Do you know someone that may be a good fit for? I've built my entire business on that. And as you get better at sending out the message, I got a lot better at making phone calls with people I had prior relationships with for years too. And this is what I want to say to that is like, I'm so grateful I've done that. And I would love to empower you to go out and do the same as a brand new builder. Because if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have been in the situation where I am now and 9 months later as an agency owner. But I want to say this, DJ, is that let's go out, man, as a new agent. And I want to empower you to do something and send out that warm market text. If you want to just kind of see how it works, send it out right now to 10 people. But if you want to be like me and possibly in 9 months just be an agency owner, get crazy enough to go out and send it from A to Z in your contacts. And I guarantee you, before you make it to C, your phone will be blowing up with what is this business and what is it, so that they'll be able to come back to you. And if you don't know how to have that conversation, just forward it to your mentor. And after about 2 times I've been on the phone, I guarantee you'll know how to have that conversation. And that's how I built my entire business. So grateful for this organization, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, DJ and Jordan Hunt.
Back to you, John.
Good stuff, DJ, man. Tristan, I appreciate you, man. That message, that takes a huge shout out to Ashley Tar Harris. The message, and this is always incredible to me, is that the text message that Tristan is sending out now, like I was sending that message out in 2018 to help build my warm market. And the more things change, the more that they stay the same. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Right? It's awesome. Yeah.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Gino and Devin, I hope you see that you start attracting the people that you show up to be on your daily life, man. Tristan is legit. Well done, sir. Yeah. So much. Take me to church. Passion. Well done.
Yeah, man. So much passion coming out of these guys. Just what I would tell you is that you aren't attracting enough of the right people to your business. People are only going to be attracted to something that's moving. And your people, whenever you first recruit them, they will do as you say, but there will come a day where they will only do as you do. And Tristan, Gino, Devin, these guys have never asked their people to do something for them that they were never willing to do for themselves. Right. And that's where being able to lead an organization and lead a team from a place of absolute personal conviction, like conviction and a knowing. I think that we start out with belief in the system. I believe that we can start from a place of belief. And I think that the graduate phase of that is going to get to a place of not just believing it, but absolutely knowing it. And then when you begin to lead people from that place, it's not like I'm not sharing an opportunity about something that I hope is going to work out for you. It's that I already know that I have what you want because this business has already provided that for me. Right? And everybody is looking for a running buddy, but nobody is running. You want a running buddy? You want a running buddy? Like, what if the people on your team were only as committed as you are? And it all starts with us, man. And I think that these guys are just absolutely incredible examples of that. And I just can't say it enough. Just like singing their praises. So thanks for the opportunity again, Spivey, Brian, and everyone else.
You bet. And thanks for, excuse me, thanks for modeling really, both confident and collaborative leadership, right? What's so fascinating, just observing you all in your culture of honoring each other and just moving forward together, is there is a way to lead that isn't just I'm the confident leader and I'm setting the example, which is very important. That's a ticket to the game. But the way that you influence each other and the way that you are able to lead collaboratively and be both followers and leaders. I'll often say everyone looks like a sheep from the front and a shepherd from behind, right? Like we might be following somebody, but we're also having others lead, and you all have that dynamic in a powerful way. So yeah, really good stuff.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. Incredible job. Man, fired up, guys. We're going to get right into this because we've got more exceptional content to come. But let's start off real quick with a little Denver recap, if you will, Juliana.